Hi everybody, Diego here. If this is the first time for you to stop by this video, I'm going to ask you one thing I wanted to say. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about a form, it's a topic that is not really popular, but I've been receiving some questions inbox and I've been giving answers to people. But at some point, I just decided to make a video out of it so it can help people. But it's a real thing. It's a real issue that is going to put people in trouble. Maybe the people I'm talking about you might be one of those people. And I just don't want that to happen. So the form that I'll be discussing today, it is called DS5535. It is different from AP. It has nothing to do with 221G, which is the AP or administrative processing form. This is something that is just, unfortunately, it's bad to see the way they are implementing this system, because the reason being of that, either they don't want to give you a visa, or they just want to delay your visa processing, or there's something that they really suspected about your case, and then they'll require of you to provide that form, DS5535 form. It is called supplemental questions for visa applicants. So I'm going to give you a trick. They don't really ask the people after interview to provide this form, but you might be a guy who's going to be asked after the interview to provide the form. I was not asked to provide that form, but unfortunately you might be one of those people, because people have been asked to provide that form. And I'm going to give you a trick, because the form on itself, if you take time to go through the form, you will see that it's a hassle to fill it. They'll ask you questions like, let me just pick up one of the questions. They'll ask you questions or information about your relatives, your siblings, brothers and sisters, if you have full or half or step or adopted people you're living with, people in your family. Questions like, let me look for something, addresses, informations or contact informations. These informations you have already filled them the time you have been filling your DS260 form. So it's going to be a hassle for you one more time to fill those informations again. And again, they'll ask you, for example, for travel history, how you have been traveling, but you have already filled those informations on your DS260 form. On your DS260 form, when it comes to traveling history, they'll ask you the history between last 5 years. If you travel from countries to country, they'll ask you those informations. The country you traveled from and the country you traveled to during last 5 years. That is when you are filling your DS260 form. Now, here's the tricky point. If you happen to be given DS5535 form to fill after your interview, they'll ask you to provide the information of your traveling history for 15 years. Are you going to be able, if you have been traveling for 15 years, are you really going to be able within a short period of time to fill those informations? You might be, but that is going to be a hassle. It's going to be a very disturbing moment. Information such as social media. Remember, the time you have been filling your DS260 form, you have already submitted the information regarding your social media. But unfortunately, if you happen to be given, or you happen to be asked to provide this form, DS5535, one more time, they're going to ask you to provide the information regarding your social media. Can you see how disturbing and tiring it is to get this form? They'll ask you more questions, and meaning that asking you more questions comes with so many struggle at some point. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you a trick so you can put into practice, which is going to help you. Believe me, out of 100, maybe 10 people or 5 will be asked to provide DS5535 form after the interview. But unfortunately, you might be one of those people. And I just don't want you to be in trouble after you have been asked that form. Okay? So I'm going to share a trick with you guys. As you are preparing for the interview, take time to download the form and fill it already up front. I'll put a link below the description of this video. You can just click on the link and then it will take you to that website where you can find this form, and then you can download it. You take time to fill it out so that you fill it with you and you bring it with you on the day of the interview, in such a way that if you happen to be asked that form, you can just pull it and then give it to the consular officer. That is going to be good because it will shorten the time for them to start one more time processing your visa, because that form is just an excuse that you are finding to ask people after the interview. It's going to take time again for them to come back to you to your case. But if you happen to provide that form right after the interview, if you have been asked, that will shorten time for them to reprocess one more time your case, and then you can find yourself being issued within a short period of time because you decided to make things short by bringing that form before even being asked. Did you find this video important? Do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you in the next video. Bye.